right, CBGM time. Let's make sure we're live. We got everything going. Now, I don't know why the screen looks dark, but let me just double check. I wonder if anyone can see the screen. I'm gonna put the broadcast out right now. Hopefully we should be good. Not seeing it on my side, that's why. Let's take a look. I'm gonna go look at Twitch. What have we got? Okay, we're good to go. I see it. Now I'm going to put the information out. This is CBGM. Sorry about the delay there at the beginning. So it's College Basketball General Manager. This is the Draft Day Sports College Basketball Featured League on version 24, and we upgrade each season. We're also linked up to the pro game to do this draft. And so our college stars, after the March Madness tournament and the one and dones and seniors and all that, they go pro, and then we kind of see what teams they go to. So with that in mind, I'm just going to let everyone know that we are live right now, and I'll just need a couple seconds on that to let people know it's going down. Put that up here, put that up here, put that up here, put that in over in studios. No, it's Saturday night and people got a Super Bowl ready to get ready for it tomorrow. Probably got their food getting that prepped. Probably lots going on. And then there's UFC going on too. So DDP versus Strickland's coming on in a couple hours. So lots going on. I'm going to get this draft underway, and then we'll be moving on shortly. Okay. So let's go through the rookie guide and take a look at a little bit of the draft preview and who we're talking about this season. All right. Oh, that shouldn't have done that. All right. So that's the actual mock draft. So let's go by position here. UConn still is recruiting really well, even after a championship, and their human owner had left. Kev BK continued to add some talent. Daryl Keene was the guy who came in. Took them pretty deep into the tournament as well. Texas, they've been recruiting like mad lately. They got a great point guard here. Magic Burger, a great story around Alabama A&M having their best season, and he's projected to be the third best point guard. And they had a great season as well. Corey Scales entered the draft. Him and Tyson Ferreira linked up quite a bit. Tons of steals. I didn't know you could go down this far, but I don't want to get into that much depth. So we'll do it as a top 5 thing. And UConn, a second point guard. They had a good backup as well. A little bit older. That guy was 21. So Xavier Allred, Purdue and Spider's best player. Looking at him being the best projected shooting guard. Sammy Eagle. My guy, Jalen Vogel. He got to the Final Four with Dex Banta, but just wasn't enough. And Ryan Moody was another great recruit from Kansas and Zubnik at the time. And so much respect to see where he goes. Tyson Ferreira, we all know he was the best player. I'm not sure he'll get drafted in this game once they transition him over, but he was definitely dominant all season long. And Marty Bridges, the guy I had from Miami, and Derek Lund from Tenney, so that's Ago. And there's a few other guys. FSU, Justice Sample, another representative with Elliot Duff. And then we got power forwards, UConn again with their depth, which is now gone. You got Baylor. You got the Aztecs with Monte Moon, Applegate, Morgan Lilly, that kind of thing. Then we got Texas as well, the best center, they're saying, with Newkirk. And Nick Izzo will be interesting to see where he goes for Sparrow. And this guy is a story I want to talk about. He won our equivalent of the Naismith Award in college from Temple 2 years back, Garrick Murphy. Then was an All-American, second teamer last year. But to win that award from Temple and do that was pretty incredible. So right now they're saying UConn's Burton. I guess maybe the Kings just kind of need that position. Keene, 2 UConn guys with Ferreira, with Allred and Moon projected as the top 5, and then we got some other expected spots for Berger and the Nets and all that. So anyways, with that in mind, let's just get into it. This thing takes about an hour usually, so if I can get through this, that'll be good. Probably not gonna wait too long on this montage, but to start throwing some names out. Eagle and then the other guys and their logos and all that kind of stuff. Vogel, my guy. All right. So I press escape. Let's get this underway. So the newer graphics from the 24 version. There's 25 out now. We're just waiting for the college game to come out for 25 and for us to then begin to make that transition over. Okay, so let's start the draft. See who the Kings take. And it's ridiculous that the Kings have this pick considering their streak that they've been on for a while. They've been losing the Magic a couple times, but then they win a couple rings, and they've been always kind of hanging around and literally going to accelerate their dominance again after this pick. So right away with the first pick of the draft, we're going to see the Kings take and add, no confusion here, Mikel Burton ends up going to UConn, from UConn to the Kings. So maybe the game's just giving us a little bit of breathing room because Burton's not as good as Ferreira. So with some relief, we don't maybe have to watch the Kings just destroy the league for the next little while. And after that, the Warriors and the Blazers. And the Blazers have a crazy backcourt. What are we looking at? We're looking at Newkirk going number 2 from Texas. That was not expected. Not in that top 5. The Warriors skip on Ferreira. They needed a big, I guess. And so they add Isaiah Newkirk. It's going to the Bay. Yeah, I'm trying to see at the bottom if they're going to show their starting lineup. But the chance for the Blazers to get Tyson Ferreira to add to Marco Logan, and I believe Jeter's on this team as well. They got quite a lineup. Hopefully they'll show their starting 5 here at the bottom in 1 sec, and we can talk about it. Oh no, Devone, they got restricted free agents, and then another Texas guy projected. Okay, let's see who we go with. Ferreira goes to the Blazers. So if Marco Logan takes his his best possible contract, then that's what's going to happen. So leave it at that. That's a huge pick he's just amazing talent from the CBGM this season. And we're up with the Knicks. And the Knicks are going to go with, from CBGM, Daryl Keene. So he was highly projected in those mock drafts. They take a point guard to build with. So another UConn player goes in the draft. First pick, 4th pick. Locks that up. And next up, with the Hornets, they'll be taking... Oh, first we got a trade. We got Akron and Zepeda swapping Wolves and Spurs. And behind that, we got Monte Moon. So I didn't know enough about this guy, but the Aztecs recruited well for the one guy they got. That then shows Moon at the number 5 position. All right, Pacers are up. And who will the Pacers take? They go with Tavon Marshall. So Texas has got 2 players. UConn's got 2 players. And what else are we looking at here? We got now the Nets. They were projected to take Magic Burger in the mock. We'll see what happens here. They're going to go with Xavier Allred. And we got Makowicz and Jermaine Good, Georgetown story, in a swap here. And Baylor, I believe, was Makowicz. But anyways, all red from Purdue, projected to go as high as top 5, is going to be leading the Brooklyn Nets in their rebuild. And so congratulations to Spider on that draft pick. And then we're going to add here next up Raul Williams. This is maybe the last we'll see of some G League guys. But when they don't have a school and they don't have a logo, that means they're from G League Ignite. But of course, we know that that's kind of, I think, wrapping up after this season or whatever. But for now, it's still in the game. I think it might still be in the 25 game. I'm not sure. And next up, we got the Pistons going with Derek Arenas. So we got another potential G League player. So that's not uncommon if you take a look at the way it breaks down usually with when you look at Holland last season and Buzelis, a couple guys there from G League. And Vogel, my guy, gets picked. Robin, interesting trade here. Pels get him, swapping out two firsts to be able to get Baylor's Robin. I believe that's where he played. And Jalen Vogel goes to the Pistons. So my one and done player out of Wichita State. One of my, probably the best overall recruit I was able to bring in. And he's, oh no, he went to the Hawks. So maybe that was through a trade. He's on the Hawks now. So the Heat at number 11 are going to go with Ryder Moody. Good pick. Out of Kansas. He had 21 a game in Kansas. So, definitely interesting skill set to look at for the Heat. And then after that, the next pick for the Spurs. Oh, Marty Bridges, I saw it was underneath. So Tirone Fonzarelli, I believe he played at Purdue in a side deal with Shea Fisher. And then we got Marty Bridges, my one and done out of Miami, getting picked. So he goes to the Spurs. And the Lakers now are up. And the Lake Show, they're going to go with that 13th pick, Dustin Tan. So Mississippi State, although they've lost a lot of guys in transfers and draft, something to cheer about, I guess, in the afterlife. And he's going in the lottery still. All right, 14-15, we're almost halfway down. And OKC goes with Devin Allen. So interesting. This guy did have a very good tournament. He was the MVP of the tournament. So this could be a sneaky pick for the Thunder. If you project the way people were playing in the college game to translate very well to pro, that would be the case of a good pick. And then next after that with the Sixers, you got Micah Applegate, and from Mini. So Kev BK continuing on his journey after leaving UConn of trying to get Mini now to win the championship. All right. And after that, we're looking at the Pace at 16, their second pick of the first round. They're going to get another experiment. So Walter Chavis with no prior history in our game. Therefore, the stats didn't come through, as you see. Nothing going on there in terms of backstory for us. Pacers are going to take that risk. And when you look at, let's say, the all-star teams, there's only about one of those guys that are one or two out of, 24 guys who make it. Oskin, Sean Aubert in a side swap. And then we got Sidney Kern from Baylor going the Wiz. All right, and next up after that, we're looking at Nick Izzo from Michigan, but there's a trade going on here. Quick, get rid of that. Nick Izzo, so Sparrows guy, is on the Chicago Bulls. Da Bulls, joining Joshua Hudson, who may possibly be one of the top 5, maybe the best player in the game, potentially at some stage. Right now, I think maybe Josh Campbell or who, it's hard to tell who's the best at the moment. And after that, with the Magic, who are, excuse me, a team that's been a bit of a dynasty with the Kings out of the East. And they're going to go with Florida's Cato Riddle. So he stays in state in Orlando. So right from the swamp, going to, Magic Kingdom. And then after that, we got Minnie and the Wolves. Rick Dench on the move. Side deals going on left and right. Casey Wall out of Wisconsin. So Blazer Taz gave up his team, but with his last potential, whatever. He's got one guy going pro before he gave up his squad. All right, so Denver, next up, 21st pick. We got Elliot Duff, FSU. So just a sample, first rounder. And after that, we got going to the Spurs with their second first-round pick. They'll be adding Magic Berger, who dropped down but joined Marty Bridges and Berger from Alabama A&M, one of those up-and-coming low SAT school teams. Sees probably their best player they've ever had go into the first round. Next up for the Cavs, we're going to see Morgan Lilly, again, another unknown type talent, going to Cleveland. And beyond that, we got with the Clip. And the Clip will be adding, well, with a side deal going on, Sammy Eagle. Good pick. Dropped, highly projected. Will be helpful definitely for the Clippers. And we're at the 25th pick. At 25, the Suns will take, with more side deals, Sidney Kern. I don't know if he was just drafted. No, he wasn't. Side trade. Taylor Good out of Baylor. So usually if you take a Baylor player, that's a pretty good decision. Usually they recruit quite well. And on top of that, at 26, we got a trade with one of my old guys, Curtis Dawson, used to play at Creighton. Craig Kasem, trivia contest. Colorado, I think. A Galia player. Corey Scales joins in the first round. Tyson Ferreira. The Nets add a point guard. And I think they drafted 2 point guards. So they had Allred. So Allred and Scale. That's a pretty good 1-2 in the draft. And we got the Kings again, who went with UConn's scouting network when going on Burton. They're going to add an unknown, so Mike Minor. And then, I don't know, hopefully this guy's no good so that we can get some equalization in the league. Kings definitely need to cool off, that's for sure. But they do have more options coming in with Burton. So after that, we're looking at the Suns, another second rounder, late one. More UNC players. So why not? They won the championship. And then you got UNC with DJ Jefferson going to Phoenix. And of course, everyone at the bottom is the top 25 for the 2040 season of CBGM. You can take a look to see what that ranking is at the moment. And the Hawks at 29, we got Nick Dunlop again. So lots of G League guys, unknowns going off. Okay, we're almost at the end of the first round. Second round's still fun too. They got lots of names from our league. The seniors get drafted, that kind of good stuff. And they've got the Bucks going with more UConn. So UConn adds one more player to the first round. And so they have the most players drafted in the first round. And next up, second round with Phoenix again. They're going with a Canadian. So from this team, the Red Flash, I guess we made these nation teams, taking Nolan Rattenbury. Gets a lot of rebounds, but has attitude issues, big time attitude issues. But nice to see St. Francis getting a pick. And maybe will be the most tenured pro, because the other guys, Max Harrison and Bissett, they did not last too long, at least attempting pro. And the Pels go with another Alabama A&M player, Ramon Franco. So congratulations to FBK and Alabama A&M getting their second draft pick. And we're looking at next. Daniel Ash out of OK State. So Chuck has the draft pick here. And after that Daniel Ash pick, we got Tony Arnold from unknown sources, but basically just more of that G League talent. And who's after this? We're going to get the Raps with a pick. So my local team and my favorite team to watch here in the rebuild. Jason Tatum is the GM. So see who Jason Tatum drafts. Vinny Habib's on the move with Thurman Raymond. And we got LSU's BJ Curry a center. They kind of had depth at the center position already. It wasn't Ernie Campbell. It was the other good guy that they had from UConn. Don't recall the name now anyway. But anyway, so LSU with the draft pick there to the Raps. And then we got the Warriors at 36. And it appears to be Greg Pusey out of Georgia Tech. So triple OS. Getting a second round draft pick. Georgia Tech was on the rebuild, on the up and up. They had a great season. They had a good run. So second round pick here. And we're looking at with the Grizz at 37. They're going to go with, here's a interesting deal. Chico D'Elia going. He potentially could have been the best player 2 years ago. He got really hurt. Chris Purdue. This is a huge trade. Louisville's Chris Purdue. Sixers, D'Elia, Pels in exchange. And Georgetown goes with now Calvin Gordon, from Georgetown to the Grizz. So that deal, though, is a pretty interesting trade because Chico DeLeo is probably going to be really good. And then you got Chris Purdue, great scorer out of Louisville. And next up after that with Minnie, Kelly Goff. And that's Oklahoma's draft pick there. What else we're looking at now? We're into with 20 picks to go in the draft. We got Darnell Agbai from North Carolina. So another draft pick. That's the third one for the Tar Heels, the champions of last season of the 2039 season. And finally, we're looking at the 40th pick from the Cavs, Rashawn Caldwell. So Texas gets their third draft pick to go with UConn, who had their 3 draft picks. So Grant has 3 of his guys potentially doing whatever they can to go do their best pro. Not great on D. That's the shout out at the bottom there. So Hawks 54-28 last season. Second round exit. They're going to be adding Shea Jack out of St. Mary's, the Gales. So Chuck with another draft pick, second rounder. St. Mary's has had some good pros as of late. I think it's Eric Freeman and some other guys are really starting to step up their pro games. And then with the Bucks, we got side deal, not a big one. Frankie Tiggs from Colorado in the second round of the Bucks. And after that, we're going to go with the Lake, going with Marquette's Sean Britchin. In the second round. To then now another Wiz pick, and they got a couple other second rounders. Really littered with Nets and Cavs picks and Wiz picks. And Wiz, the first one they're going to go with, Delonte Brewer out of Arizona. So TV guy D moved from the Aztecs to take over Arizona, more of his local team, favorite team. And he's got a second round draft pick here, Delonte Brewer. At 45, we're looking at Savka Jovanovic. So a favorite of EC Hood, a guy who constantly was in the All-American chats, had great career. And now we'll see if he can join Chico DeLeo in that deal on the Pels as center. But sticking around, Savka Jovanovic. And then we're going to go with Garrick Murphy. So here come the big stat stuffers out of the college seasons we've had in the last 2-3 years. So their signature is still going to stick around on some team, and we'll see how they turn out from second round picks. And the Wiz in the second round will add Tyson Fox Peterson, decent trade. Tyson Fox is decent. Kings get him though. That's not good. Just continue to stack. Dana Haynes from the Cards, second round. And now we're looking at, with the Wiz at 48, Doug Kurtz from Davidson. So now hopefully the Wiz are done. They just had about 3 picks out of the last 7. Magic, and King. So these picks are critical. They could really add depth to them here. Shante Feaster from SMU. So another human controlled player. It's another draft pick in Shante Feaster. And after that, we got Kenny Riley. So the transfer from Texas, who just had tons of passing stats, assists, didn't shoot much, as you can see his stats there. 3 points a game, but like 7 assists a game. Ends up getting drafted out of Wichita State. So Kenny Riley sticking around. Decent point guard. And the Kings at 51 are going to go with and add with Kent State draft pick, Mario Leggins. Don't know enough about him, but almost 16 a game at Kent State. Sounds very respectable. And with the T-Wolves, we got Ryan Lyde. So back-to-back Wichita State picks. That makes 3 players in this draft. Lyde, who kind of, top 60 recruit. Didn't really get it done too well in the end to really hang on to his spot in the lineup at times. And at 53, we got Ronald Rodriguez at Oklahoma as he approached the tail end of the draft. And after that, we're going with the clip, Greg Melliot from Temple. And after Greg Melliot, we're looking at Speedy Galloway out of Kentucky. That's a good name. $13 a game. Kentucky kind of not dominant. Neither has Duke been dominant. A couple of blue bloods that have been quite quiet in our game. Okay, now the next up. That's up next. We got Dwayne Heath. And after Dwayne Heath, we're going to look at I got to wait before I can pick the next one, so just wait it out. And the Hornets, 57. Clemens Dukakis out of Northern Arizona. Aggo. A little gift for you here if you're paying attention. But the Lumberjacks, I think, is the team. Clemens Dukakis. With only 2 picks or so left, they go 3 picks. And the Bucks, Middle Tennessee State. We do have an owner with them, Dorian Robinson. And after that, at the draft, we were looking at 2 Cavs picks. And first one goes to a Minnesota player, Chevalier Anderson. So Chevalier is Chevy is going at 59. And after Chevalier pick, we're going to look at the last player of the draft. Is it Mr. Irrelevant? Doesn't really work that way in basketball. We got Cliff Timmons, another Wichita State guy. This guy's pretty good. And then there was Jamar McAfee too. So I don't know. There's some good guys. Maybe McAfee gets signed. But these guys were all part of a Final Four run that fizzled out, losing to the champs at UNC. And that's it. All right, we're going to end the draft and continue this season onwards. And we're almost starting 2040 season in college basketball. General manager running transfers. And we're getting into picking our camps and getting camp data back and then doing our recruiting. So thanks, everyone, if you watch this. And I hope you all have a really good week.